Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to one and all. We are on the last three paragraphs of four paragraphs of the syllabus, English, Unit 4, Lesson 4.3, Intellectual Rubbish by Bertrand Russell. The whole lesson is telling you about different types of examples given where human beings make all type of silly errors, where human beings make one own self into the hotspot or into hot water or else the red tape. So that's finished with this lesson and I'll explain everything once again. But we have been getting to Solomon. Solomon means very serious, very sober, very serene in that. Superstitions are not always dark and cruel. Obviously, blind faith, superstitions may not be always bad omens or may not be always harmful in that way. Often they add to the gaiety of life. Gaiety means happiness. Gaiety means happiness. Sometimes we enjoy the old traditions. Sometimes we enjoy the blind faith. Sometimes we enjoy the superstition also. Another example coming up. I received once a communication from the god Orisis giving me his telephone number. He lived at that time in a suburb of Boston. Boston is a university. Although I did not enroll myself among his worshippers, his letters gave me pleasure. Pleasure means happiness. I frequently received letters from men announcing themselves as Messiah, messengers, managers of religion, and urging me not to omit, not to delete. Omit means delete, remove. To mention this important fact. Fact means something which people don't know about such people. Saints in my lecture. Obviously, Bertrand Russell is a professor by himself. He gives various forms of lectures in various other centers, various institutions, various colleges, various places, various ways, as in called upon to he being a good orator in that manner. Therefore, the God himself, that means the managers of various religions, they keep sending Bertrand Russell letters which Bertrand Russell is not a follower of them either. And they keep reminding him that to mention about these messiahs or messengers who announce themselves as messengers, that means managers of various religions, caretakers of various religions. If you do this, this will happen. If you don't do that, that will happen. But on the long run, they are not known, they are not well versed with whatever they are doing. So they keep catching such orators, such people who keep advertising their own people in that way. Even though he has great pleasure in reading their letters, who actually they are unknown to this personality himself. I admire especially a certain prophetess who lived beside a lake in northern New York State about the year 1820. That means 100 years from now. Before 100 years, 1890, 1990, 2020. That means 200 years. 1820, 1920, 2020. That means 200 from now back in the bygones. Bertrand is saying something about a lady who seemed or called herself as a prophetess, as a goddess, as a messenger of various other gods in various other religions in that way. She had innumerable followers out there. She announced to herself her numerous followers, in numerous means many, multiple followers, are the people who listen to people who are managers of the religion. That she had possessed means belongingness, or having that power within oneself. Or walking on water, is it possible for anybody to walk on water? Walking on water is impossible. Even though the word impossible says I am possible, but if you try to walk on water, you will not be able to walk on it. Remember, it should be water, not hard water or ice in that sense. She proposed to do so at 11 o'clock on a certain morning. And the stated time means set time. The faithful assembled. Faithful means the loyal people of, or the followers of this lady. Assembled means gathered in their thousands beside the lake. She spoke to them saying, that means all the followers, all the caretakers, all the liking people, all the faithful people, all the loyal people of this lady who seemed to call herself as a prophetess, said one day that 11 o'clock in the morning at a certain place that obviously near the lake, they all assembled out there, they gathered out there, and what did she say? Look at the intellectual people, how they create problems or just give them blind faith or give blind views to the rubbish people. She spoke to them and saying, are you all entirely persuaded? That means, are you all satisfied? Are you all convinced? Are you all willing to believe me that I can walk on water? That I can walk on water. That means you all are here and all are ready and all are going to see me walk on water. But do you believe that I am capable of walking on water? And one voice, the whole public, the whole crowd, all the people who gathered out there, they said in one voice, with one voice they replied all in one, we are means we are satisfied. We are understanding that you have the capability, you have the ability, you have the willpower, you have the possession of walking on water, which is obviously, if you are a scholarly person, if you are an educated person, if you are a trained person, if you have ample amount of knowledge, it is not obvious that no person can walk on water. In that case, in such a place, in such a time, in such a doing, she announced again. She announced means she told the people once again, there is no need for me to do so. That means I don't have to prove myself. I don't have to show myself. I don't have to give evidence of myself. I don't have to give warrants about that. I am able to walk on water. When you can believe me, when you have faith in me, when you have loyalty in me, then why should I prove myself that I can walk on water? So that means here again we have the intellectual rubbish coming up. She is the intellectual part, and the public or the common man or the people who are standing or their followers or the rubbish. Now comes the main part of the lesson. The name of the lesson is called Intellectual Rubbish by Bertrand Russell. It's an oxymoron where two words are used in a contradictory manner, in a contrasting manner. One good, one bad, one woman, one faithful, one loyal, one horrible, one true, one false, one yes, one no, one do, one don't. So there are different things in that manner. The writer has used contrasting or contradictory words to describe all false beliefs, baseless opinions, dogmatism, fears and other superstitions of various kinds. Like in the previous lesson, the storyteller, horribly good. Actually the word horrible means unsatisfactory. But good means very talented, or really having the quality of some goodness. So we have freezing fire, boiling ice, fatal mistake. There are many words in your textbook also. Plentiful supply, which I'll come up in the next paragraph also. And they all went home. That means the whole public that had gathered out there, that had assembled out there, they all went home edified. Edified means as they were told morally instructed through the brainwashing manner by the talented doing their needful with what is supposed to be done with the rubbish people, the ignoble people, the ignorant people, the people who do not know anything about worldly affairs, people who do not have ample amount of knowledge regarding the worldly affairs in that manner. Perhaps the world would lose some of its interest and variety if such beliefs were wholly replaced by core science. Obviously, if these things have been proven by science that it is correct or incorrect, then commonly the human being will start being aware of everything slowly and steadily. What was done in the bygones have been put up with technology. No doubt we could speak to a person from here in India and beyond, to a person in London or in America or in South Africa, anywhere in the world, 20 years before also, 40 years before also, no doubt. But the method was slow, method was different, technology was not out. But today, it is all in the hands, it's all in your palm, within your reach, just one click and you talk to a person who's in any corner of the world. As long as there is connectivity between both the places. So it's very important that we people should learn things in a theoretical manner plus practical. It's easy to say than to practice. It's easy to do than to work it out. People give long lectures, being good orators, but do they follow the same instructions in their own house? Do they do the same thing what they are telling other people to do? Do you think that what the person speaks out, he or she himself follows the same work that he or she is speaking? It's easily said than done. It's easily spoken than it will be followed. It's easily planned, but it's very difficult to execute. So everything has to be done both ways. We have to work it out in such a manner that both people, the common man and the talented, or the ignoble people and the educated and trained people have it. It is, you are educated, but when you meet the world in front of you, you find something totally different. Because it is all practically done out there. What you see, you do. It's very simple to do anything, but unless and until you put it to practical working, it's going to be difficult for you. Last paragraph of this lesson. A wise man will enjoy the goods of which there is plentiful supply. Again you have the intellectual word, plentiful supply. Meaning supply can be on a lump sum basis, on a huge basis, on a number basis, on quantity basis. So you have various expressions telling you different types of work. Savage controversy. Savage means wild, controversy means discussion. Then you have modern techniques, old techniques, modern techniques. Foolish customs, old customs, foolish customs. Why do we call it foolish customs? Because they are outdated now. Actually, what the old people used to do, they used to cook food in copper vessels. Today we are doing everything in alumina. alumina being used in this particular manner. Things have to be taken very, very seriously. Like we said, silly mistake, grave mistake, careless mistake, obvious mistake. Telling you one word describing four different things. Silly mistake, that means you come into a class, you see the person in the class, and yet you ask for that same person, that is that person seen? You come into a staff room, Shakil sir is there. You ask someone else, is Shakil sir here? You're seeing Shakil is standing there, Shakil sir is sitting over there. Yet you are asking someone that Shakil sir is there. So isn't that a silly mistake? Seeing is believing. So that is to be taken. Grave mistake. And that means you are doing silly mistake. After that you are repeating the same mistake. That's a grave mistake. Serious mistake. Careless mistake. You are told to do something, but you understand the question in an incomplete manner. So that's a careless mistake. When you don't understand something, you have to ask for more details. But after giving instruction very, very clearly, for example, leave a line and write every major question on a new page. Write your punctuation correctly. Proper noun must be always in capital alphabet. First alphabet must be capital. So on and so on and so on. Yet after telling you, after giving you written instruction, like you have to write a complete name, your full name, your standard, your division, your roll number, your GR number, your Aadhaar number, your student server ID number, so on and so forth. After giving you written instruction, oral instruction, and yet you make mistake, that is the time when you are doing it in a deliberate manner. Knowingly, you are doing the mistake. If you are unknowingly doing the mistake, that's a different thing. But knowingly you are doing the mistake, that's a blunder. After reminding you for one whole year, 10 months, yet you are repeating the same mistakes, means what? You are doing it on purpose. You are doing it deliberately. You are doing it unknowingly that you are doing a mistake. So these things have to be understood very, very. Such thing is very common, and that is why it is called as plentiful supply. And of intellectual rubbish, he will find an abundant diet. Abundant means plentiful again, large amount, good amount of diet. Diet means out here, such type of people will be there in common, who deny something or who won't accept things as it comes. No, I will not do it. First, understand the thing. First, understand the thing. And then, follow it. Question yourself, debate yourself, argue with yourself. Is it correct? Is it incorrect? Is it true? Is it false? Are you on the right path? Are you following the complete instruction? Are you an informative person or not? Things have to be understood in every walk and talk of life. In our own age, as in every other. However, it is very common during the teens. Teens means from the age of 13, THIRTEEN, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This is that adolescent age where the child is either on the track or off the track. After the age of 19, the child starts developing mentally. Because this particular period is that period where the child is either going to follow proper instructions or he will deliberately break the rules. It's very easy. During school days, your teacher keeps pestering you, your teacher keeps telling you, teacher keeps reminding you what you have to do, what you are supposed to do within the four walls of the school. Do this in this manner, do that in this manner, do your previous work in this manner. Put up your assignment, put up your homework, keep your reading work updated, learn the spelling, learn the meanings, etc., etc., etc. But once you leave the school, which is your home actually, second home, for 12 years you've been staying in one place. On the day you leave school, you feel very happy. But bygones, as you move into your college life, as you move into your future life, as you move into your sedentary life, as you move into your adulthood, as you reach into another fourth, fifth stage of life, that is the time when the bygones keep reminding you, yes, my school teachers were good. Yes, my school teacher was doing this. Yes, my school teacher taught me this. Yes, my school teacher told me to do this in this manner. Told me not to do this because this will create a problem. So that is what happens when you are coming into the same footwear of your teachers. That is where your intellectual rubbish starts working. We teachers keep telling you do it, do that, do this, according to the rules, according to the protocol, according to the bylaws, according to the laws, according to the constitution. But the day you step into college, you are free willy, you are totally free, where the intellectuals will use you as a rubbish, even though you are qualified. You passed your 10th standard, you passed the SSC board, you passed the CBSE board, you passed the ICSE board. There the intellectual people will use their brain to manipulate you. Here the school teacher, what they used to do, keep making you do reading work, writing work, spelling work, meaning work, make you learn, make you understand. But once you leave your school days, you move into a college, where the college is totally free willy life, where the college has nothing to do with school. Here in school, we people are using our brains, our talents to manipulate your brain so that you understand things better in your future life. We keep you surrounded so that you do not make mistakes in future life. We keep guiding you, we keep informing you, we keep instructing you so that you don't make any mistake in your future life, in your fortune, in your future days to come. The forthcoming days may be good, may be bad, may be tricky. As in my first lecture I had told you earlier, like English is very easy, English is very difficult, but what is English actually? English is a tricky language. It says something and the meaning comes out something. Like here, the lesson name, lesson 4.3, Intellectual Rubbish by Bertrand Russell. What is it telling you? The scholarly people, the educated people, the trained people, the practical people are using their brain power to manipulate the ignorant people, the acknowledged people, the common people, the public. So everything what is taught to you in school is going to come back sometime back into your life. So don't just think that life is not going to remind yourself. Life is not going to recall yourself. No, life is not going to remind you about your yesterdays. So life must carry on. But see that today is my last lecture according to the standard 9 syllabus for the state board, Maharashtra state. So in that case, last final touches. If you have any doubts, any queries, any problem, please chat with me on WhatsApp. Please call me as and when required. I am available 365 a day. 365 days per year, 24/7. I thank all the teachers of all the school, all the management. I thank Hera English School management and my colleagues who helped me, who guided me, who told me to do what and when and why and how. We have 5 brothers, today 26 February 2021 for 9th standard and the same date for 10th standard, but 1 month behind. But so I finished off for the 10th standard syllabus. I finished off by the 29th of January 2021 and I started on the same day, 4th of June 2020. A good 10 months process where, mashallah, alhamdulillah, I finished off with all my work and now we are on with our school, back to school. We have eye contacts and that's the way we got to solve all our more and more queries where we face eye contact face to face. Because here we are on YouTube and you are just listening to us, viewing us, liking us, commenting on us, subscribing to the channel, but you call us again and then we solve your question. So once when we come back to the same platform where we are having eye contact with each other, it will be very simple that we are all going to face the same red tape once again. Thank you. Jazakallah wa ma alaina illa al-bala. Assalamu alaikum.